Bartholomeus Anglicus was an early 13th century scholastic scholar of Paris, a member of the Franciscan order. He was the author of the compendium de proprietatibus rerum, dated at 1240, an early forerunner of the encyclopedia and one of the most popular books in medieval times. Bartholomew also held senior positions within the Church and was appointed Bishop of Łuków, although he was not consecrated to the position. Early life. Little is known of Bartholomew's early life. He is believed to have been born around the turn of the 13th century to unknown parents. The first record of him was in 1224 in Paris as a teacher, although he is also believed to have studied at Oxford University. Encyclopedia. The work De Proprietatibus Rerum was written at the School of Magdeburg in Saxonia and intended for the use of students and the general public. Bartholomew carefully notes the sources for the material included, although at present, it is sometimes impossible to identify or locate some of them. His annotations give a good idea of the wide variety of works available to a medieval scholar. The original Latin work was translated into French in 1372, and a number of manuscripts of the Latin and French versions survive. The work was later printed in numerous editions. John Trevisa produced an English translation in 1397. Extracts were compiled by Robert Steele under the title Medieval Law and Epitome. A critical edition of Trevisa's translation appeared in 1988. The work was organized in 19 books. The subjects of the books, in order: a god, angels, the human mind, a soul, physiology of ages, medicine, the universe and celestial bodies, time, form and matter, air and its forms, water and its forms, earth and its forms including geography, gems, minerals and metals, animals, and color, odor, taste and liquids. Book 1 De Deo, on God and the names of God. Book 2 De Proprietatibus Angelorum, on angels, good and bad. Book 3 De Anima, on the soul and reason. Book 4 De Humani Corporis, on the bodily humours. Book 5 De Hominis Corpore, on the parts of the body. Book 6 De State Hominis, on daily life. Book 7 De Infirmitatibus, on diseases and poisons. Book 8 De Mundo, in earth and the heavenly bodies. Book 9 De Temporibus, on time and motion. Book 10 De Materia e Forma, on matter, form and fire. Book 11 De Re, on the air and weather. Book 12 De Avibus, on birds. Book 13 De Aqua, on water and fishes. Book 14 De Terra, on the earth and its surface. Book 15 De Regionibus e Provinciis, on regions and places. Book 16 De Lapidibus e Metallis, on rocks, gems and minerals. Book 17 De Herbis e Arboribus, on plants and trees. Book 18 De Animalibus, on land animals. Book 19 De Accidentibus, on colors, smells and tastes, substances, measurements, numbers and music. Sources as given by William Morris, Adamantius, Oregon. Giles de Corbeil, Alain de Lille, Albertus Magnus, Abu Mazhar al-Borki, Alcuin, Alexander Neckham, Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Kathir al-Farghani, Alfred of Seychelles, Al-Ghazali, Ambrose, Anselm of Canterbury, Archelaus, Aristotle, Augustine of Hippo, St. Augustine, Aurora, the metrical version of the Bible by Petrus Riga, Averroes, Solomon ibn Gabirol, Avicenna, Hamo of Faversham, Basil of Caesarea in Hexameron. B. The work by which he was best known in the 13th century was not his history but the works on the calendar, etc. Jean Bellith, Bernard of Clairvaux, Bestiarium, a collection of early myths on animals of Eastern origin. There are many different forms of this work. All are founded on Physiologus, Boethius Treatise on Arithmetic, Callisthenes Pseudo, Alexander Romance, Cassiodorus de Septem Disciplines, Cato the Elder, on agriculture. Chalcidius, a commentary on the Timaeus of Plato. Cicero, in Somn. Scipionis. Constantine the African. He read the Viaticum and the Pantagna. He introduced Arab medicine into Europe through the school of Salerno. Cyprian, a Syriac astrologer, afterwards Bishop of Antioch, and martyr in the Diocletian persecution. Damascene, quoted by Constantinus Safer, a physician. Damascene, John, an Arab physician. Damascius, a Syrian commentator on Aristotle who took refuge in Persia, author of a work on wonders quoted by Photius. Pedanius Dioscorides, Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite, De Coelesti Hierarchia, and De Divinis Nominibus. Aelius Donatus Grammarian, Euphicius, a disciple of Gregory. Fabius Planciades Fulgentius, a Fulgentius of Ruspa grammarian. Galen, Gilbertus Anglicus, an English physician in France, wrote Compendium Medicinae. Pope Gregory I commentary on Job. Haley, the first medical work translated by Constantius of Hyrcanus. Hermes, in Elchemia. Hippocrates, Huguccio, a jurisconsult and writer on grammar. Hyginus Pseudo, writer on astronomy. Pope Innocent III wrote A Contemptu Mundi, etc. Isaac Israeli ben Solomon, an Arab physician who translated many Greek authors into Arabic. Isidore of Seville, Bishop of Seville, he wrote a work on etymology in 20 books, one of the most popular works of the Middle Age. Jacques de Vitry, a crusading bishop, afterwards cardinal legate, wrote an exemplar and 3 books of Eastern and Western history. Jerome, Joseph Bangion, abridgment of Jewish history containing many legends. Josephon, Josephus, Jewish historian. Jarath, de Animalibus, a Syriac writer. Lapidarium, Cmarbodrius de Gemmis. There are many treatises under this name. Pope Leo IX, Jacques Paul Migne, Patrologia. Lucan, one of the most popular Latin poets of the Middle Age. Aemilius Mesa, on the virtues of herbs. The extant hexameter poem known as Floridus ad Viribus Herbarum, traditionally ascribed to Mesa, is actually a medieval production by Odo Magdalensis, a French physician. Macrobius, his commentary on the Dream of Scipio was a favorite work in medieval times. Marcianus Capella wrote a poem, The Marriage of Mercury and Philologia, treating of the 7 liberal arts, which was the standard textbook from the 5th century for the schools. Mashallah ibn Athari, Methodus Pseudo, de Agrini. Michael Scott, at this time concerned in the translation of some Arabic works on astronomy, and Aristotle's De Coelo and Amundo de Anima, and Historia in Aturalis with commentaries. Masalhastrologus. Papias, grammarian. Perspectiva Scientia. According to William Morris, this may be Bacon's, Peckham's, or Albertus Magnus's, but he favors Peckham. Others say Al-Hasan's De Aspectibus, a medieval Latin translation of Ibn al-Haytham's Kitab al-Manazir, was first cited in this compendium, dated about 1240. Petrus Comesta, named Magister Histoiarum, a master of histories, wrote an account of the world from the creation, which when translated into French, was called the Mère des Histoires, a favorite medieval book. Philaretus, a writer on medicine. Date seems wrong here, redirects to Theophilus Protaspatharius. The real Philaretus wrote on pulses. Physiologus, a Syriac compilation of moralities on animal myths. It first appears in Western Europe's Theobaldus Natus 12, Animalium, of Alexandrian origin. It dates from before the 4th century, and appears to have been altered at the will of each writer. Plateariussaliarnitianus was Johannes, one of a family of physicians at Salerno. His work is called the Praetica, a book on the virtues of herbs. Plato. The Timaeus is quoted, probably from Chalcidius. Pliny. Natural history. This and Isidor's work are the two chief sources of medieval knowledge of nature. Priscian, grammarian and physicist. Ptolemy, an Alexandrian astronomer, known through Arabic translations only at the time. Rabanus Maurus of Fulda, pupil of Alcuin, a Benedictine, afterwards Archbishop of Mayence, who wrote a Universo Mundo. Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi, an Arab physician, perhaps the greatest of the school. Remigius of Auxerre, a teacher of grammar in the school of Paris. His grammar remained in use the 4 centuries. He wrote a gloss on Marcianus Capella. Richard of St. Victor, a Scottish theologian, prior of St. Victor, a mystic of considerable acuteness. Richard Rufus of Cornwall, a Cornishman who was a doctor in great renown, both at Oxford and Paris. He afterwards joined the Franciscans. Robert Grosseteste, the celebrated Bishop of Lincoln and patron of Bacon, taught at Paris and at Oxford. Commentaries on Aristotle. Salus Dius. De Diiset Mundo. A geographer. Schola Medica Salernitana. A treatise on the preservation of health in Leonine verse for popular use, said to be addressed to Robert of England. It has been translated and commented on hundreds of times. The Middle Age very sensibly thought preservation from disease a branch of medicine equally important with the cure of it. Secundus, a writer on medicine, a 4th century, used Pliny. Gaius Julius Solanus wrote an account of things in general. Polyhistoriae. Stephanus. Commentary on Galen. Joalfried Strabo, a Benedictine, abbot of Reichenau, near Constance, one of the authors of the gloss. Simon Cornubinensis. Marcus Terentius Varro, M.T. Most celebrated grammarian. Virgil. William of Conches, lectured at Paris, 1139, on grammar, wrote De Natura. Zeno of Cyprus, a writer on medicine, and teacher at Alexandria. Church positions. Bartholomew was elected as minister of Austria in 1247 and was then elected as minister of Bohemia in 1255. This appointment included Poland, where he resolved a dispute between Duke Boleslaw and the cathedral chapter at Krakow. Pope Alexander IV appointed him as papal legate north of the Carpathians in 1256 and appointed him as the Bishop of Łuków. However, he was probably not consecrated in that position due to the Second Mongol invasion of Poland in 1259. Bartholomew was appointed as minister at Saxonia in 1262 and served in that position until his death in 1272. He was at some point confused with Bartholomeus de Glanvilla, another Franciscan monk who lived a century later.